Hello everybody and welcome to 2.4 Looking for Loops. So this looking for loops activity is one of those where you are going to have to go over here to the left to the projects tab, and you have 6 different mini puzzles that you're going to have to modify per the requirements. So let's take a look over here on the right. We're on the first of 6, and it says coding is often about efficiency. How small you can make these programs. How small can you make these programs by condensing the code into loops? So here's our problem description. This is code for a space shuttle launch. It counts down the numbers 10 to 1, then initiates the blast off. The input for this is none. The output, it says the numbers 10 to 1 counting down and then the word blast off. Here's your requirements. You need to restructure the code. Instead of 10 separate prints, we need to use a loop to subtract and print integer values. Okay, and I'm not going to read the next one because that's for the next puzzle. So this right here is for our first puzzle. And looking at this, let's see. I'm going to blow this up so that I can see it a little better. And let's take a look at what we've got. So it says make these prints part of the single loop. So if I run this, 10, and so this works, but not the way we want. So what we are going to do instead is we're going to come right in here. We've got our countdown. I'm going to put my cursor right here. I'm going to hit enter once to give me some space. And I'm going to say while, whoops, if I can spell, don't be like me, kids. While countdown greater than 0 colon. And I'm choosing greater than 0 because we see we're starting at 10, right? So while countdown greater than 0, because I want it to count down from 10 to 0, and then I have to indent that print countdown that was there, and I'm also going to indent the countdown decrement, the countdown minus equal 1. All right, now here's the interesting part. I don't need the rest of this. I don't need it. Okay, except for the blast off, I need that. Okay, so I'm going to go Command X to just cut it out of the way. That saves me because if I decide to put something back, I still have it. It's still kind of in my clip, my saved clip there, but it's gone from my code. Line 15 says blast off should print after the loop is over. So if I leave blast off where it's at, it should print accurately because this should count down. Once the countdown reaches 0, then we should see the word blast off. So let's see. Alright, so we got 10 down to 1, then we've got blast off. So that works. So that is how you modify puzzle 1 of 6 in order to get your code stuff done. So let's move on to looking for loops, which is the second puzzle. Again, remember, we have to go over here to the right. We have to click project, and we have to click the second one over. And notice it says 2 of 6 right here. So that's how I know where I'm at. So now I'm going to scroll up a little bit and look at the directions for 2 of 6. It says coding is often about efficiency. How small can you make these programs by condensing the code into loops? It says this program plays duck, duck, goose with the user. The input is either the words duck or goose. The output is I'm going to get you and then gotcha on goose input only. So we need to restructure the code. The game should keep running until the user enters goose. Use a single while loop instead of using any conditionals. So it looks like we're going to be modifying our ifs into whiles. So modifying the ifs into whiles, and then those are directions for the next one. So I'm going to leave those be. Alright, so let me blow this up so we can see it really well. So I have a user call, gets input, enter duck or goose. Then it says loop until the user call is goose, getting new input each time. So instead of if user call equal goose print I got you, I'm going to go while user call enter goose. And then I'm going to cut this out for a minute because I don't think I need it just yet. What I need instead is I need to get rid of this else because we don't have else. So we've got while user call equals goose. We're going to say, loop until the user call is goose, getting new input each time. So loop until it is goose, and they all say goose. So I'm not going to say that. So instead of goose, do we need to say while user call equals duck? And then we're going to prompt it to tell me, wait, what if we did it this way? Goose. And what if we say not equal? So while user is not equal to goose, we're going to prompt them to enter another thing. Then if user says goose, then you're going to say I got you. So then truly, in looking at the rest of this, okay, I'm bored now. Haha, that was kind of funny. I'm going to Command X. After the loop, print the response for goose. So while user call not equal to goose, meaning it's duck, we're going to get them to type again. But then I'm going to run it as is. I think this will work, but I might need to modify this. So let's test the code. Enter duck or goose. So I'm going to enter duck. I'm going to goose. Okay. I'm going to get you gotcha. Okay. So it works as is. Now I think what I could have also done is I could have also probably gotten rid of this and then move this print way over here. And so what would happen is this would loop so long as you never typed goose because of the not equal. So as long as you type duck, you would keep getting this input. But the minute you typed goose, you would break out of the loop and then it would auto print your I'm going to catch you. But as it's written here, works as well. Okay, so that's the second puzzle. Let's go back to our projects tab and let's hit the third over, and let's scroll down here to look at our description. And our description says code is often about efficiency. How small can you make these programs by condensing the code into loops? Our problem description: a football player is sprinting down the field. This code reads the yards remaining as he approaches the end zone. So the input is for none. The input for this is none. Wow, I don't know how I messed that up. And the output says he's at the number, where number is how far away the player is in a 10-yard increment. And then finally it says touchdown. So the requirements here is to restructure the code, use a while loop to track the distance, decrement by 10 each iteration to the countdown, and convert the yard count to a string before concatenating the message. Okay, so let's take a look here. What do we have? Let me make this wider. We have use loops to count down yards, increment by 10, print this after it ends. So if I run it, it's working, but we want to do something a little different. So I'm going to go here at line 6 where it's blank, and I'm going to go yards gets 50. So we're going to start there. I know I'm starting out at 50-yard line, right? And then underneath here, put my cursor there and hit enter a couple times. Can I hit enter a couple times? Isn't that weird? I put my cursor there and it didn't let me hit enter. Go figure. Okay, so I made myself some space here above all my prints. I'm not getting rid of them yet because I haven't decided if I need to. And I know I need a while loop, so I'm going to go while yards greater than 0, colon, while yards greater than 0, colon, we're going to print he's at the, and I don't want to say 50 just yet. I'm going to say he's at the, add a quotation mark there, plus, then say yards, then plus, and then quotation mark again. Okay, so what am I doing? I am, right here, I am calling this. So at first, it's going to say 50. So now I know I don't want the rest of these. I don't need them. So first it's going to call he's at the 50. Then I need to decrement by 10 according to my directions. So what does that mean? After I hit print and it says he's at the blank yards, I'm going to go yards minus equal 10. Because I want it to go down by 10 each time it does this. Okay? And so what is going to happen here is while yards is going to run as long as it never reaches 0. And the first print is going to say he's at the blank yards, which is 50. Then it's going to subtract 10, which makes this 40. So then it's going to say he's at the 40 yards. Then it's going to subtract 10, which makes this 30. Then it'll say he's at the 30 yards. You get what's happening here? Then you subtract 10, and so on and so forth. So eventually, while yards greater than 0 goes from true to false, because eventually yards will not be greater than 0. Yards will be equal to 0, because we will have subtracted everything. And then when that happens, touchdown will print. Why? Because the computer, once this is evaluated to false, will break out of the while loop and go down and to the next line of code that is not part of the loop. So let's test the theory here. Uh-oh, what did I know? Oh, I need to say string. Cannot concatenate string and integer objects. Okay, so that's why we do this. So this is technically an integer right now because I started it out with a number. So I need to concatenate str parenthesis yards parenthesis. Now it should work. So let's try it. He's at the 50, the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10, touchdown. There we go. And that's how that puzzle's done. That is puzzle 3 of 6. Puzzle 3 of 6. So we're halfway there, ladies and gentlemen, halfway there. So let's go over to the projects tab on the left and click the 4th project puzzle. And this one, notice it says 4 of 6. That's how I'm keeping track. All right. And I'm going to scroll over here to read the directions, and it says looking for loops, 4 of 6. Coding is often about efficiency. How small can you make the program by condensing the code? Okay, so problem description. This code prints, that's a really, really big number, with 1 really for every extra digit that the number has. So 15 would be, that's a really big number. 150 would be, that's a really, really big number. 1500 would be, that's a really, really, really big number, and so on. So there's 1 really for every extra digit. So every extra place in the number. So our input is going to be an integer, and our output is, that's a really, really, really big number, where the number of reallys is the number of digits in the number minus 1. Okay. So we're going to restructure the code. The new code should run correctly with an integer. it should use a while loop to keep dividing the number by 10 and use a plus equal to add on to the end of the string. Use a plus equal to add on to the end of the string. Okay, so let's blow this one up and let's take a loop at it. What do I have? Line 7 says number gets integer input, enter a number. Okay, so that's where I'm going to type a number. Then our output string says that's A, and we're going to have to do something with that. And it says loop while number is more than 10, so if number greater than 10, output string plus equal really. Okay. And then for each loop iteration, divide by 10 and add 1 really to the output string. So number gets number divided by 10. If number greater than 10, output string plus equal really. Number gets number divided by 10, output. So it feels like it's like repeating there. It is repeating there. So it feels like we're going to end up getting rid of some of this. And add this part after the loop ends, output string plus equals big number, and print output string. Okay, so let's go up here. Okay, I've got an enter of the number, and I've got an if, and I'm going to change this if to while. So while number greater than 10, while number greater than 10, you're going to output the string, you're concatenating the string with a really. And then this is number, I think I need to tab this over. It says number gets number divided by 10. I think that's okay. And then we've got output string plus big number, print output string. So I think while number is greater than 10. So I think I'm going to get rid of this right here. Whoops. That was weird. If you accidentally click a Mac too hard, it does that. So I'm going to go Command X, get rid of that. I don't think I need that. I think I need to keep this. And I do believe I need to keep this, because while number is greater than 10, I'm going to increment the reallys to the output string. So let's test the theory. Let's see. So I'm going to enter a number. So I'm going to say 10. That's a big number. Okay, that's what I expected. No really, because I'm at 10. Now let's try this. Let me go 100. I should get 1 really, because I've added another place value. That's a really big number. Okay, so next let's test it with 1,000. So I should get 2 reallys this time. 1, 2, 3. Enter. That's a really, really big number. Very good. So let's try one more time. Let's do 10,000. So 10,000. 1, 2, 3. So I should get how many? 3 reallys? 1, 2, 3. Yes, I should get 3 reallys. That's a really, really, really big number. Okay, so it works. So what did we do? We changed the first if to while. We tabbed over the output string. I think we did. And we tabbed over the number gets number divided by 10, and then we got rid of the rest of the if statements. There were 2 other if statements. We left output string at the bottom alone, and we left the print output string alone at the bottom as well. So that is how we solve puzzle 4 of 6. So let's move on to puzzle 5 of 6. We're almost done. We are almost done. Okay, so looking for loops 5 of 6. I'm not reading the description again. It's been the same description every time. Our problem here is that this code prints smiley faces based on how happy the user is. So the input is an integer 1 to 10. The output is some number of smiley faces. Our requirements is we need to restructure the code. The new code should run correctly with any positive integer using increment, that's plus equal, to add on to the end of a string, and use decrement, that's minus equal, to count down. Use a loop to repeatedly add. Use a loop to repeatedly add. Okay, so let's take a look here and see what we got. I've got happiness gets integer input. How happy are you on a scale of 1 to 10? Then we're going to print, let's see that in happy faces. And then line 9 says, make a new empty string to add smiley faces onto the end of what? Did I accidentally get rid of something? I don't know. So let's do what it says. Okay, so we will go happy underscore string gets, and it's just going to be empty, right? It said empty, so that's what a empty happy string looks like. Okay. So next, we've got if use a loop to count down from the user's number to 0. If happiness greater than or equal to 0, greater than or equal to 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I don't feel like we need all that. I think all we need right here, I think we need while happiness greater than 0. While happiness greater than 0, we are going to go, instead of this print here, I'm going to go happy underscore string, that's this thing up here at line 10 that I created, is going to increment, that's plus equal 1 smiley face. You know what, too? I feel like the smiley face needs a nose. Every smiley face I've ever made had a nose. Do I remember how to make a nose? Yeah, there. I lost the button. Okay. And then a space, and then that. I want a space, that way they're not all smashed together. So every time the happiness is greater than a number, we're going to add a smiley face, and we're going to go happiness less than or equal to 1, not less than, happiness decreased by 1. So this is decrementing this happiness. Okay, so we're taking that number down. And then it says each iteration decrement. Okay, so I just did that. I just did it at the top. I don't, whoops, sorry children, don't be like me. What happened? There it is. Okay, let me get rid of that. Let me get rid of this. This is what happens when you use a Mac without a mouse. Okay, so I've got my while happiness greater than 0. I'm going to increment the string with an extra happy face. And I need to finally print my happy string. Print happy underscore string. Okay, now how many of these am I going to get? I think I'm going to get as many as I say, so long as the number is greater than 0. So let's test that theory. Let's test it. So I run this, and let's say I say 10. It means I should get 10 smiley faces. Did I get 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It worked. Okay. Now, let's try it again. I'm going to test it with the number 5. Do I get 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did. And then one more time, let's test it with the number 1. 1. Enter. And I get 1 smiley face. Okay, so what did we do? So we got rid of all that extra line of code here, all that extra stuff. We changed the first if happiness greater than or equal to 10. We modified it to while happiness greater than 0. We incremented our happy string that we created here at line 10. This was new. Remember, we added this at line 10. So we incremented with a smiley face. And then we also decremented the number stored in happiness so that this would run as many times as you declared, right? So if I said I was on a scale of 9 out of 10 for happiness, this while loop is going to run 9 times until this statement becomes false. So long as the number is greater than 0, this is going to iterate. Once this becomes 0, once it's run enough, meaning basically it's drawing happy faces, right? It jumps out of the loop and it comes down here and prints our final happy string. And what is this? What is happy string? Why, it's this, right? Plus all the smiley faces that we added to it. Magic! Who knew programmers were magicians? Isn't that cool? All right, so last puzzle. Last puzzle. We're just having too much fun right now. Last puzzle. And how do I know? It says 6 of 6. That's how I know. So let's look at our directions over here. It says this code sings the chart-topping summer jam of 99 bottles of pop on the wall. Funny, I don't remember it that way. But it starts at 5. Okay, no more 5 bottles of pop. Oddly enough, in Ohio we do say pop. But if you don't say pop, if you say soda, wherever you're from, then write soda instead of pop. So our input here is enter key to continue. Our output is the song 99 bottles of pop on the wall. Our requirement says restructure the code, use a loop to repeat the verses, start at 99 instead of 5. Okay. And then use a string typecast to concatenate numbers for printing. So boy, they are challenging us here. They want us to go all the way to 99 even though they cheaped out and only did 5. That's crud. Okay, so starting out on line 7, we have pop amount gets 99. That is pop amount. That's our variable. It's storing the number 99 right now. At line 9, it says write a loop that counts down from 99. So at line 10, which is empty, I'm going to create a loop. So I go while pop underscore AMT, that's short for amount, greater than, guess what number? Oh, if you guess 0, you read my mind. So while pop amount is greater than 0, then it says write the first 2 lines before you decrement. So we're going to print, I need to tab this over, 5 bottles of pop on the wall. I'm not going to say 5. I'm going to get rid of the 5. Leave a space. I'm going to go right in front of, actually I'm just going to delete that because I got to concatenate, folks. It's a concatenation situation here. So I go pop underscore AMT, because what am I doing that for? I'm calling this number stored up here in line 7. So pop underscore AMT plus, actually I forgot this. I forgot my parenthesis and then my plus. Why didn't you tell me, children? And then my quotation mark. And then don't forget I have a space there. And it says bottles of pop on the wall. Okay. And then the next part of the song says, like if you sing it, 99 bottles of pop on the wall, 99 bottles of pop. So I need to tab that one over and do the same thing here. I got to go pop underscore AMT, parenthesis, plus sign, quotation mark, space. You know what I'm missing? I'm missing my double quotations at the end. Why didn't you tell me I was missing? Am I supposed to have double quotations at the end? Am I? I feel like I am. Oh, I know what I didn't do. I'm glad I didn't leave this. I am. So I'm supposed to have str. I got to string these because up here, that's an integer, so this is storing integers. So in order to concatenate them, I got to typecast them into strings first, and that's why I have doubles. Ta-da! So then I got to do the last sentence. You take one down and pass it around, and then we decrement. So print, tab that over, you take one down and pass it around, and then I'm going to add a line here at 15. I go pop underscore AMT minus equal 1, because I want the amount of pop to go down with each verse of the song. Okay? Alright, so let me think about this. So now, I don't want to print this. It says write the last line of the verse that you decremented. Write the last line of the verse after you decrement. Write the last line of the verse. What is the last line of them? What did I hear? Let me Command Z this. 4 bottles of pop on the wall. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do, tab that over. I don't want to say 4. And I'm going to do the thing that str pop underscore AMT parenthesis plus quotation mark. Make sure there's a space there. So what it's going to do, the song, 99 bottles of pop on the wall, 99 bottles of pop. You take one down and pass it around. And then this one is going to end up saying 98 bottles of pop on the wall because we subtracted one right there. You see how that works? The magic. Okay, and then it says write a blank print just before the end of the loop to have a space between verses. Okay, so I'm going to tab that over. It's got to be part of my while loop. And then let the user decide when to continue. Okay, so I'm going to tab that over. Input, hit enter to continue. And tab that over. And then I don't believe I need any of the rest of this. So let's just highlight it all. Near. Command X. That way it's not gone forever. Okay, Command X. And then I think we're good. I think we're ready. Okay, so let's test it. Let's test it. Oh, it doesn't like something. What does it not like? Invalid syntax line 12. So let me fix that. Why didn't you tell me, children? Print str pop amount. Maybe I don't need double parentheses. Do I not need double parentheses? I don't need double parentheses. Why didn't you tell me, children? Okay, so that was my problem. I doubled them and didn't need to double them. I wasn't thinking straight. Let's try it again. Must have been all them bottles of pop. Okay, 99 bottles of pop on the wall, 99 bottles of pop. You take one down and pass it around. 98 bottles of pop on the wall. It says hit enter to continue. Enter. And then the song keeps going. 98 bottles of pop on the wall. Sing it, kids. 98 bottles of pop. Okay. Man, look at this. We can code an entire song. And then you just keep going. And then if you're a crazy person, you just keep going by hitting enter. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm stopping at 50. I ain't got time for this. Okay. So that's how it's done. Don't forget, I just now fixed my bug. At the very beginning of this section, I put double parentheses here, and I don't need to. So make sure you don't. Funny, I didn't do it there, but I did it there. How weird. Anywho, take one last look at the code as it's modified. Don't forget to delete all the other junk that was below that we got rid of. And that is the last puzzle for looking for loops. Toodles!